Shardaji, you can say Omkara and start.
Om. 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om. Sahana Vavatu. Sahanau Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam Karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Atha Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Ghatitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamruta Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambattvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullaravindaaya Tapatra Netra Enatvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajwalito Gnanamaya Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraika Panaye Gnana Mudraya Krishnaya Gita Mrutaduhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gao Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsas Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Geetamrutam Mahat Vasudeva Sutan Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhishmadrona Tata Jayadratha Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Krupena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavairana Nadi Kaivarthaka Keshavaha Parasharya Vachas Saroja Mamalam Geetartha Gandhotkatam Nanakyanaka Kesaram Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shatpadairaharaha Pepiyamanam Muda Bhuyad Bharata Pankajam Kalimalap Pradvamsina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkrupa Tamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutastunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sanga Padakramopanishadair Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na vidusura suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrusham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam Yogiridhyana Gamyam Vande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikkanatham Sarvalokaikkanatham Sarvalokaikkanatham.
Namaste. Thank you, Shardaji. Today we are almost at the midpoint of our 22. It's the 11th session. And Dr. Ji will share the secret today, the secret of life and the secret of everything. And I think after we had a little bit of digression in the previous chapter, we are coming back to continue on. So we'll start with a contemplation poem. I recently got sick, so this is from that. I am the virus and its cure, the meditation and the medication, the doctor and the patient too. I am the father, the mother, the goal and the way. The summary of all knowledge and that vast ocean of knowledge. I am like the wind, roaming around everywhere in the vastness of space and containing all living beings.
Namaste. Can you hear me? Namaste. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Matre Namaha. Gomatre Namaha. Gita Matre Namaha. Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Sabhayai Namaha. Saluting Lord Ganesha, Saraswati Devi, all the gurus, Veda Mata, Gita Mata, and Jagat Guru Gita Acharya, and this august assembly. Let's reveal ourselves by studying this royal and secret science. This chapter is named or called Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga. Rajavidya. Raja, all of us know, it's kingly, king. Raja means king, Raja. Rajavidya, a kingly science. But that's not the only meaning. Rajate, Rajru. So Raja is another name for Chandra and Prakasha. Rajate, Prakasha. So this enlightening science. Then Rajaguhyam. It's a secret. Secret means secret. And so there is a book called Secret. Some of you might have read it. But a royal secret. Secret means, imagine the suspense, secret, how the kids and everyone would be so alert and excited and then inquisitive and enthusiastic to know. And it is not only a secret, but a royal secret. And yoga, that which unites us, the individual soul, with the supreme consciousness. So Rajaguhya is a kingly secret. So kingly secret, sometimes, when we were medical students, this joke used to go around, some hear the murmur when you put the stethoscope on, then that extra little flowing sound is called murmur. So if it is very soft, maybe a cardiologist can hear it, appreciate it. And a little more soft, more than soft, so little noisy, but not very noisy. So maybe an experienced person can hear that after putting in an effort to listen to. Then a loud one, they used to say, oh, even the CMO can hear it, a chief medical officer can, or the principal can hear it. So because they're so busy with administration, so not all kings are like Janaka Maharshi, Janaka Rajarshi. Rajanascha, Rishayascha. They are Rajas and Rishayas. Imam vivasvate yogam proktavanaham avyayam vivaswan manave praha manurikshvaka vebravit evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu. So Rajanascha, Rishayascha. Janaka, Janakadayaha, we have seen that. So here, those who are so busy with their own administration, their own work, they also can understand. So that is Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam. And not only the name was given by rishis, but Lord Krishna himself calls this science as Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam in his own words. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshamyanasuyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yajnatva mokshase shubhat. As Sureshji said, there was little interruption in the 8th chapter because Arjuna has asked the question, and it is a duty of a teacher to clarify that and then continue, because we have seen this in the 7th chapter, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam Yajnatva Neha Bhuyonyat Jnatavyam Avasishyate. Having known this, there is nothing is left to be known. So that doesn't mean that just this chapter only, and it's a continuity, it continues. As we are in this Madhyama Shatka, the second 6 chapters. So we are continuing from the 7th chapter, the Bhakti Shatka. So Yajnatva Mokshase Ashubhat. So from Ashubha. So what is Ashubha? Shubha is all happiness. Ashubha is the sorrow, the dejection, the dispassion, the despair, the depression. So that is Ashubha. So now you'll be released from all Yajnatva Mokshase Ashubhat. In fact, Lata Mangeshkar has sung this song, and then she gives a little gap, and then Mokshase Shubhat. So when you reach a stage, Shubha Shubha Palairevam, Shubham and Ashubham also, you go beyond that level. So that is Jnani. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam. So Pavitram, Punati iti Pavitram. It's not only pure in its own sense, but it purifies us also. Pavitram, idam, this, uttamam, uttamam, the best, the best. Pratyaksha avagamam. So it is right so vividly in front of you, O Arjuna. Dharmyam, it is endowed with all dharma. What is dharma? Dharma is dharanat dharma. Because of that, because of which everything is upheld. So that Chaitanya, that Chaitanyam, because of which everything is upheld. And that moral values, because of which everything is upheld. Susukham. Sukham, very easy. Easy. Susukham is so easy, so very easy. Susukham. Kham means space. Kham. Kham mano buddhirevacha. Bhumirapo nalo vayuhu. Kham mano buddhirevacha. Kham is giving space, including akasha, avakashat akasha. So inclusiveness. Sukham. So there is so much space, all inclusiveness. Susukham, so easily. Now you will evolve into a stage where you will be all inclusive in your personality. And kartum avyayam. Avyayam, vyayam is declinable. Avyayam is indeclinable. Indeclinable. Purnamada purnamidam. Purnat purnamudachyate. Purnasya purnamadaya. Purnameva avasishyate. You just can't say that I have read all 700 verses of Gita. And Swami Chinmayananda used to say, I know you went through Gita, but did Gita go through you? So we have to do that. There is so much to learn, so much to practice. Oh, I have practiced this swalpam apyasya dharmasya, but there is even more little swalpam, so even more to practice. And oh, it is only available for some who have access to this Gita and Sanskrit knowledge. No, avyayam, for everyone, they can have it, you can have it. So with the knowledge of Sanskrit or without the knowledge of Sanskrit. So that is the beauty of this knowledge. So we have seen that na chora haryam, na charaja rajyam, na bhratru bhajyam, na chabharakari, vyaye krute vardhata eva nityam, vidyadhanam sarvadhana pradhanam. Na choraharyam, the thieves cannot steal. Na charaja rajyam, the kings cannot rule or overrule. Na bhratru bhajyam, the brothers cannot share. Na chabharakari, it is not heavy to bear. Vyaye krute vardhata eva nityam, the more you spend, the more you accrue. Vidyadhanam sarvadhana pradhanam. This knowledge is, this treasure is the best of the treasures, O Dhananjaya. O Dhananjaya, O the conqueror of all wealth. So this is wealth. What is Vidya? Vidya, sa Vidya ya vimuktaye. That Vidya is Vidya which helps us release from this bondage of dukkha. So we have seen the definition of dukkha. Tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sangitam. Attachment to dukkha is ashubham. Detachment from attachment to dukkha is mokshase ashubhat. Idam tu te guhyatamam prabhakshyamyanasuyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yajñatva mokshase shubhatam raja vidya raja guhyam pavitramidam uttamam pratyakshyavagamam dharmyam susukham kartum avyayam. O Anasuyave, O Anasuyave, O the one without any Asuya, Anasuya Devi, Atri Maharshi, Anasuya Devi. For them was born Dattatreya. Dattatreya vidmahe, Atri putraya dhimahi. So Tanno Datta Prachodayat. So that Anasuya Devi, a great lady. So Anasuya, if you look at the meaning of Anasuya, it is a feminine word, Anasuya. Anasuya. So the one who has Anasuya is, so Anasuyuhu, Anasuyave, Gurave, like, so Anasuyave. Anasuyave. Nagunan gunino hanti, stauti mandagunanapi. I will explain that. Nanya dosheshu ramate, sa Anasuya prakirtita. So what is Anasuya? Anasuya, with this great quality, na gunan guninaha hanti. So you don't count upon the mistakes, the errors, the deficiencies of another person. But stauti mandagunanapi, you praise even though they are so very little. It's like a mother appreciating a child, even for a little baby step, but not worrying about so many falls. So, nagunan guninaha hanti, stauti mandagunan api, na anya dosheshu ramate. They have no joy of counting others' mistakes, others' errors, others' deficiencies. So this is Anasuya. This is such a great quality. And Asuya is opposite. Asuya, Irsha, Asuya, Dvesha, and Matsara. So these are all very similar sounding, but each one has its own definition. Swami Bodhananda says, Irsha is irritation. Irritation is, you look at my nose or my glasses and you just get irritated. There's no reason. You just get irritated. Or you might have come across some person in the past who had such glasses and who was nasty to you. So maybe that's why you get the irritation. So that's another reason why you. So that's irritation with no explanation. Asuya is, oh, you know what? He hiked the Grand Canyon. Oh, so, he was the last one to finish. Oh, his backpack was carried by someone else for a couple of minutes. So now you see, now you're actually trying to look at the deficiencies. Oh, you know what? He was valedictorian. Oh, no. So he just, he doesn't know how to speak. So what? So that is how you actually try to find others' mistakes. Then Dvesha is that intense hatred, intense hatred. Then Matsara is, you are so jealous of someone having a quality that you do not have. You want to possess that, but you don't have. And you actually are jealous of other person. So these are all the qualities, the vices that we should know. Once we know, we try to see them as gunas. We'll see that the beauty of knowing that is we have to see that they are in us. We are not in them. So, but there are some people, oh Arjuna, even though I am all pervading, Ena sarvam idam tatam, maya tatam idam sarvam, jagadavyakta murtina. So all this is pervaded by me, O Arjuna, which you will see in the next 10th and 11th chapters. You will hear about it and you'll see it. All this is pervaded by me. Sarvam Brahmamayam. But because Naham Prakasha Sarvasya, because I'm not very obviously shining, and because Mohamaya Samavrutaha, because of the overwhelming of this Maya, and because they are Mogha Asha, they are so desiring for themselves, selfish desire. Mogha Karmanaha, so busy in working to accrue everything for themselves, I, me, myself, my and my own. Moha Jnanaha, baffled in knowledge, which is no good for anyone. Vichetasaha, bewildered, their mind is not in them. Then Rakshasim, Asurim, Mohinim, Shritaha. So this Maya is of three kinds. Sattvika, Rajasa, Tamasa. So Tamasic depends or eats which someone has cooked for themselves. So he steals from someone. Rajasic, no doubt he cooks for himself, but he just is so involved within his own joy. So he for himself, working for himself. Whereas Sattvic people they're working for others. They derive joy by sharing with others. So this Rakshasi and the Asuri. So Rakshasa, there were Rakshas and then Yakshas. Yakshas and Rakshas. So Brahmaji, so he created a pond of water, and then he asked these two groups. So Yaksha, they say, Bhakshamaha, let's eat. And then Rakshasas, they Rakshamaha. So we'll save it for ourselves. We'll save it for our future. We'll save it for the grandchildren, great-grandchildren, as we see some of the politicians these days. So Rakshasi, so Rakshasa. So even though they're knowledgeable, Sakshara can be Rakshasa. So Asuri, Asura, Sura, Susturati. These great Sattvic people, they revel in this Sukha, in this happiness, in sharing with others. So Susturati, Sura. So that's they are Devas, the Devas, because they give. Deva, we have seen that. Te Deva Bhavayantuvaha. So these, when you worship them, when you remember them, when you respect them, they enjoy in giving it to others. So Susturati iti Sura. Asuraha, Asushurati. Asushu means they revel in their own self. So they just want everything for themselves. They are Asuras. So that is Mohamaya, bewildering. So they taking shelter in this. Ashraddhadhanaha. So Shraddhavan Lavate Jnanam. Now here Ashraddhadhana. So they have no Shraddha. They have no faith. Faith is something, a belief which is strengthened by one's own experience, one's own conviction, one's own commitment. They cannot appreciate me, Ashraddhadhanaha. Ashraddha Agnyascha. So these are Modhaha. So here there is a mention about Modhatma and Mahatma. So these are deluded people, O Arjuna. But there are Mahatmas. There are, we know Mahatma Gandhi. The title was given to Gandhiji by Rabindranath Tagore. And there is another Mahatma who is not very well known. Is Jyoti Rao Govinda Rao. He is from Maharashtra. So a social reformer. But Mahatma, very popularly known, is Gandhiji. So their Atma, their individual soul is all-inclusive, all-inclusive. Mahatma. Mahatma anastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashritaah bhajantyananya manaso nyatva bhutadim avyayam. These Mahatmas, daivim prakritim ashritya. So prakriti, Maya, Pradhanam, these are all interchangeably used. So Maya, Prakriti, Pradhana, and Prakriti again, Apara Prakriti, Para Prakriti. So Prakristena Krutam, one which is made in a very special way. What is that special way? Maya. If you look into the Sanskrit aspect of it, Ya, Ma means na. Ma kuru, dhanajana, yavvana garvam. Ma, shuchaha, worry not. So, Ya, that, Devi, Ma is not there. Because for the realized, Maya is not there. And for others, it is binding. So that's Prakrutam. Prathamam Krutam, Prakristena Krutam. Then another meaning is Ya, Ma. Ma means mother. Ma, mother. So Ma comes from Sanskritam word Ma only. So Ma, the one who is the mother. So we'll see Pitaha Masya Jagataha, Mata Dhata Pitamaha. I am the father, and then mother is Prakriti. So Swam Prakritim Adhisthaya. And we have seen in the 4th chapter also, Prakritim Swam Adhisthaya Visrujami. So that Sambhavami. Bhajanti Ananya Manasaha. We will see this in the 22nd verse. Nyatva Bhutadim Avyayam. So, and here, these are very contradictory verses. And this 9th chapter is known for these 2 verses. And there are so many commentators have commented in a very unique and special way about this. And this is Masthani Sarva Bhutani Nachaham Teshvavasthitaha. The first one is very easy to understand. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina. Maya tatam idam sarvam, all this Maya tatam pervaded by me. Yena sarvamidam tatam, by whom all this is pervaded. So all omnipresent. That we could understand a little bit. And all these bhutas, sarva bhutani mat sthani. All these beings are in me. There is nothing other than me, O Arjuna. We have seen that. Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya maya sarvamidam protam sutre maniganaiva. But then this another line, if you see, nachaham teshu avasthitaha, aham teshu na avasthitaha, I am not in them. So what does this mean? So Swami Chimayananda used to make us repeat this one, and Vita Raga Bhayakrodha Manmaya Mamupashritaha. And this from the 2nd chapter also, Vita Raga Bhayakrodha. And this one, and also Nachaham Teshu Avasthitaha. So they are in me, I am not in them. Nachamasthani Bhutani. And I'll explain this a little bit more from what I could understand. So, I am in them. They are in me. That is easy to understand. Well, every being has Chaitanya. But again, aham teshuna avasthitaha. I am not in them. That's because naham prakasha sarvasya is one meaning. The second meaning is because they are moghasha mogha karmanaha. They cannot find me. And they are bound by their own gunas. Tamasic, Rajasic gunas, Sattvic gunas. And all this because of the gunas, they cannot find me. They do not know me. And I can exist without them, but they cannot exist without me. So they are like waves in the ocean. They are like waves in the ocean. Waves can exist when there is ocean. But when there is no ocean, waves cannot exist. When there are no waves, ocean can exist. So that is another meaning. Then if you look at all this is such a Maya, Rajju Sarpa Bhranti. Rajju Sarpa Bhranti Nyaya. So we see that rope in the darkness around this time, and then we think it is a snake. And we get so worried, anxious. But once the light is shown upon that rope, that snake is gone. So was that snake there or was not there? It was there, not there, or neither. So that is, Shankaracharya says that you can't say it is there, you can't say it is not there. Sannapi san ubhayatmikano, bhinnapi bhinnapi ubhayatmakano. So that's how it is so difficult to understand these verses unless you revel in them. Masthani sarva bhutani, nachaham teshva vastitaha, nacha masthani bhutani, pashyame yogam aishwaram. Look at this yoga and then look at this Aishwarya. Yoga is that union, the one who is in everybody. Aishwaram is Vibhuti, which is so visible, but it is only visible to those Mahatmas, to those Jnanis. But if we don't revel in that, if we don't realize that, then that Chaitanya is not there within us. We are bound by our gunas, our vasanas. Nachamasthani bhutani, pashyame yogam aishwaram, bhuta bhrunnacha bhutasto, mamatma bhuta bhavanaha. So now, here the Lord shows his untaintedness. Even though I am the creator, I am not tainted by the creation. Chataru anyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashaha tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. So that akarta, so that abhoktrutva. But at the same time, he is the bhokta and he is sarvajna, he is sarvakarta. We will see that. So this yoga and Aishwarya, both are seen in this chapter. So how am I pervading all this universe? Yadha kasha sthito nityam vayus sarvatra go mahan tatha sarvani bhutani masthani ityupadharaya. O Arjuna, hold on to this. Keep this in your mind. Upadharaya. Dharaya, hold on to this. Upadharaya. Very close to it. Don't let go. Don't let go this idea. What is this idea? The idea I am everywhere. I am all pervading. And all these beings are in me. And I am the master of these beings. How? Like that mighty wind, blowing everywhere, is resting in the ethereal space. See, there is Akasha, that is giving Avakasha for this Vayu which is there. So, you can't say that this wind is going from point A to point B. A space is going from point A to point B. So, it is all a continuity. And now I have the control. All these beings are the kites. They just move around, but they are connected to me by a string, and I am the holder of that string. Maya dhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagad viparivartate. Although they are overwhelmed by this prakriti, but this prakriti is mine only. Mayam tu prakritim vidhi Mayanam tu Maheswaram. So the magician is Maheshwara. The magic is Maya. And this Maya operates under my presidency. Maya dhyakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam. All that which is moving and then all that which is moving not. All that which moves and all that which moves not. is created, suyate, delivered by the Prakriti under my presidency. And that is how this Jagat goes on. So Jagat, Jayate, Gachati, iti Jagat. The one which is created and is going on and on and on. Jayate, born, Gachate, so goes on and on and on. So Jagat Jagaya Manam is Jagat. And we have seen that Brahma is Sat Chit Ananda and Nama Rupa is Jagat. So we have seen that. Asti Bhati Priyam Rupam Nama Chediti Amsha Panchakam Adyatrayam Brahma Rupam Tatodvayam Jagadrupam Tatodvayam. So that is how. So this omnipotency, omniscience, and omnipresence is now revealed in these verses. So next one, how to reveal this within ourselves, and how these Mahatmas have revealed themselves. You can see it any which way, Arjuna. Ekatvena, Pruthatvena, or Bahudha, because it is Vishwato Mukham, it is universal, and it is appreciated, approachable with Jnana Yajna. So Karmana Jayate Bhaktihi, Bhaktya Jayate Jnanam. So then Jnanena, with that Jnana, you do the karma, the action, which is endowed with bhakti, so devotion. So from karma, vasanakshaya, then bhakti. Through bhakti, jnanam. Then through that jnanam, you do perform the action with devotion. So that is a cycle. Jnana yajnena chapyanye yajanto mamupasate ekatvena pruthatvena bahudha visvato mukham. Others who are engaged in the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, or the one who is diverse in many and in the universal form. So, one, Ekaha, Advitiyaha, Ananyaha. There's nothing other than that. God is one. God is one. So that Ekam Sat, Vipra Bahudha Vadanti. That Satyam, that Satta, that existence, that Chaitanya is one. But the knowers, Vipra Bahudha Vadanti, they say in many different ways. So Ekatvena. Then others, so the Bhinnatvam, Ekatvam and Bhinnatvam. So Pruthak in a different way. During Navaratri time, we worship Mata Durga. During Diwali time, we worship Mahalakshmi. During Vasanta Navaratri, we worship Saraswati Devi. Krishnastami Krishna. Ganesh Chaturthi Ganesha. Ramanavami Rama. But through that, you actually see the supreme consciousness in that. If you are not seeing, you can see one, there is only one, that's great. And that one, when you realize one is seen as many, one is seen in many. If one cannot see one in many or one as many, he cannot or she cannot see any. So Ekatvena, God is one, God is one. Pruthatvena, Pruthak differently, individually. Pruthak, we have seen that. Pruthak. Shankhan, that Pruthak. So each one blew their conscious individually. So Bahudha, many deities, many idols, so many vigrahas. And Vishwato Mukham, the universal form, so that is seen in the 10th and 11th chapters. Will dwell on this Vishwato Mukham. So that Vishwato Mukha, these are all Upanishadic words, Upanishadic mantras. So Eko Devaha, Sarva Bhuteshu Gudaha, Svetasvatara Upanishad. Eko Devaha, Sarva Bhuteshu Gudaha, Sarva Vyapi, Sarvabhutantaratma, Karmadhyakshaha, Sarvabhutadhivasaha, Sakshi, Cheta, Kevalo, Nirgunascha. You see, all these mantras are endowed in these verses. And now that Karmapala Data, and Dhata, the nourisher, the flourisher, the one who has the ultimate power, is talking about who am I? Aham, 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 aham. So this aham is not that little ego in us. Krishna Paramatma talking as Paramatma, Paramatma. Aham kraturaham yajnaha swadaham aham aushadam mantroham ahame vajyam aham agniraham hutam gatir bharta prabhurs pitahamasya jagataha mata dhata pitamaha vedyam pavitra monkaraha ruksama yajurevacha gatir bharta prabhus sakshi nivasa sharanam suratam prabhava pralayasthanam nidhanam bijam avyayam tapamyaham varsham nigrunnam cha amritam chaiva mrityuscha sadasachaham arjuna. See, so many times this aham is used. So if we contemplate on these verses, Saha is saying aham, aham, aham. Then we do this mantra soham, soham, soham. Then we become that Saha. So when we revel on that Saha, Rasovai Saha, that essence, Saha, who is saying aham, 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 is all this. And when we contemplate on this, so it is Soham mantra, Soham mantra. And so we contemplate on that. It is like Brahmara Ketanyaya. We become one with him. And so when I hear you say, Kratuhu, I am that, Kramabadhyena Krutam. So that yajna, which is done in a very orderly fashion. Yajna, yatta, krutena tat jnayate, by doing which you know that. Swadha, Swadha is done for Pitruka, Swaha and Swadha. You say Swaha when you do oblations, offer oblations for Devas, Swadha for Pitru Devatas. Aushadham, Aushadham is the one which nourishes us, which takes away our disease. Mantra, mananat trayate, by remembering this, it protects us. So, Ajyam, Agni, Hutam, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagnav, Brahmanahutam. Then Pita, Mata, Dhata. If you say, I am the father, then who is your father? I am that father of father also. So, Pita Mahaha. And I am that Omkara. We reveled on that in the last session. Then Ruk, Sama, Yajuhu. So the three Vedas. I am the goal. I am the nourisher. I am Bharta. I am Prabhu. Prakristena Bhavami. I am here in a very special way. And I am the master also. Sakshi, Sakshi, Cheta, Nirgunascha. So Sakshi, again, another great word from Upanishads. So, and I am Nivasaha, Saranam. So, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Samahatma Sudurlabha. Vasanat Vasudevasya, Sarvabhuta Nivasosi, Vasudeva Namostute. Is Nivasa. So, his Nivasa is in us. Aham Vasami Vaikunte, O Narada, I am not in Vaikunta. Madbhakta Yatra Gayanti, Tatra Tishtami Narada. So, I am there where you remember me. So, Prabhava, Pralaya, and Sthanam. I am the creation, the sustenance, and the dissolution, or the recycling. So I am the treasure. I am the seed. I am that indeclinable. And Ami Varsham, Nigrunnami Usrujami cha. So I am that Varuna. I am that rainmaker. And I am the birth and I am the death. But there are people who, Arjuna, they try to achieve me, desiring the Swarga Lokas, the higher worlds, as we have seen these Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Suvarloka, the 7 Lokas, the Urdhva Lokas. They do all these kritus. So this is talking about the karma kanda portion of the Vedas. So we have seen that. So all these Vedas, karma kanda talks about the gunas. But Nistraya Gunyo Bhavarjuna, Nirdvandvo, Nitya Sattvastho, Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. So that explanation is given here. So that Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraya Gunyo Bhavarjuna. Now, those who do this karma kanda, Traividya Mam Soma Paputa Papa, Yajnairisva Svargatim Pratayante, Te Punyamasadya Surendra Lokam, Ashnanti Divyan. Divideva Bhogan. So by performing these ritualistic actions, they certainly attain the heavenly abodes. But once that is exhausted, their punya is exhausted. Once that punya is exhausted, Tetam Bhuktva Swargalokam Vishalam, Kshine Punye Matya Lokam Vishanti, Evam Trayi Dharma Manuprapanna, Gatagatam Kama Kama Labhante. Those who are after desires, because desire can never be fulfilled. If you fulfill one desire, then another desire arises. If you can't fulfill, we know that. If you can't fulfill a desire, that turns into anger. So, these karma kanda practitioners, the ritualists, desiring the selfish desires, they no doubt, attain what they want to attain. But once that punya is exhausted, as you take a credit card to Las Vegas, and then once the credit is over, then you'll be thrown out of Vegas. So that is how it is. These two great verses are said. And we come to 22nd verse in the 9th chapter. This is like a pendant of a necklace. If you see the two connecting hooks of the necklace at the back, that is the first verse and the last verse. Dharmakshetre and Yatra Partho, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. So these two verses, the first and last verses. But the pendant is this verse. Ananya Chintayanto Mam Yejana Pariyupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. And those Ananyaha, Anyamanaskaha, they know nothing other than me. They truly believe and experience that Matta Parataram Nanyat Kinchidasti Dhananjaya. So that Vyavasayatmika Buddhihi, that one-pointedness. Ananya Cheta Satatam, so that Ananya Chintayanta. Then Pari Upasate, Asate, well-seated. Upasate, nearer to who? Nearer to the God. Pari upasate, always. Pari upasate, tesham. Nitya abhiyuktanam. Yuktanam means endowed. Abhiyuktanam, endowed so closely with me. And nitya, always, in all times, everywhere and every time. For them, I take care of their yoga and kshema. And this is LIC's motto, also life insurance company's motto. So that yoga and kshema, all our worries are because of yoga and kshema. All our efforts are because of yoga and kshema. Yoga is acquiring something or attaining something or procuring something what we don't have. And all our efforts is something. We don't have a job, we want a job. We don't have a house, we go after getting a house. We don't have a car, we try to get a car. So that's attaining or procuring or obtaining or so that what we don't have is that yoga. Then kshema is what? Retaining and securing what we already have. So now we have a house, we take care of the house. We have a treasure, we take care of the treasure. So retaining and securing, procuring and securing. And worry is what? Worry and anxiety is because we may not attain or procure or get what we want to get. And worry about kshema is what? We may lose what we already have. So that worry and anxiety and that all our efforts in life are because of these two only. That I'll guide you. I'll take care of it. When you are Ananya Chintana, Pariupasana, Nitya Abhiyukta, so when you become these three, I will be with you. So because Aham sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhureva cha natu mam abhijananti tatvena tasya vantite. Will you realize my supremeness? Now here, Sri Krishna Paramatma is speaking as that cosmic consciousness. So that we have to understand, that Paramatma. Ekatvena pruthatvena, you can look at him as Krishna, Sri Krishna Paramatma. You can look at him Sakha. You can look at him as friend. You can look at him as Guru. You can look at him as the incarnation, and you can look at him as the supreme consciousness. So I am the Bhokta. I am Prabhu. And how can you worship me? It's so easy. So sukham kartum avyayam. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktyupahrutam ashnami prayatatmanaha. If one offers me bhaktya, so endowed with love and devotion, bhakti upahrutam, bhaktya prayachati, a leaf, a flower, a fruit, a water, I shall accept it, O Arjuna. So I don't need a grand ritual. There is no grand phenomenon to reach me or to worship me. So if you look at our Puranas, there is a little higher meaning to this. Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. That Patram is when Satyabhama was doing the Sri Krishna Tulabharam upon the advice of Narada Maharshi. She puts all the treasure to weigh that is equal to Krishna Paramatma. But Krishna is so heavy than all the treasure which Satyabhama has, including the Samantak money, I guess. But then Rukmini Devi comes. With that bhakti, she puts a leaf of tulsi. And there, tulsi, the plate which has tulsi, is heavier than Krishna Paramatma because it is endowed with bhakti. Pushpam, so Gajendra, he was so helpless. I do not know anything other than you. Neve tappa itapparam veruga. So in that state, he finds one flower in that lake and then he offers it to Vishnumurti. Then he comes. Sirikin Jappadu Shanka Chakra. So he doesn't even tell Lakshmi Devi that I'm going to protect so Gajaraja. So that is how in Purana it is. Then Pushpam, Andal has offered. So Vishnu Chitta, he used to make these nice garlands and then to offer it to Vishnu in Srirangam. So Andal used to wear it first and then look at herself in their either mirror or in the well, and then used to make sure that these were good, and then they were offered. So one day Vishnu Chitta finds a long hair in that, and then he asks for the pardon. But that is the bhakti of Andal, who has become one with Vishnu. Then Shabari Phalam, that fruit which was brought with so much of intense devotion, and some stories say that she even tasted it. It is not there in Valmiki Ramayana, but other Ramayanas, they say that she tasted and made sure that they were sweet, and then she offered it to Rama. Then Toyam, Rantideva. Rantideva does penance for the people of his kingdom. So such a man, such a great king. When he does, one day he acquires some food and water, and then finally, so when he's about to eat, so one comes, half of food is given. The other one comes, other half is given. So these are all these great mighty gods, Indra and Yama and all. So lastly, he was about to drink the leftover water. And then for the last beggar, he offers that. So these are great meanings behind this verse. But in colloquials, in our day-to-day life, so patram, when you give just $1 for someone who has done your service, either in the hotel or carrying your luggage or someone, Patram, or even a greeting card saying thank you for someone who has helped you. Pushpam, say a bouquet of flowers. Phalam, say a basket of fruits. Toyam, so it's offering some water to someone who has come to your house. So these are very important when done with love and devotion. So offer it to the Supreme Power, all that you can hear with great devotional fervor to be happy and free forever. A leaf or flower, a fruit or some water, whatever you may offer, offer with love that's pure. It's an attitude that matters. It is a devotion that God cares about. It is reverence that He honors. It is your intention that counts. Leaf means, there is another layer of meaning. Leaf means our own body. Patati iti patram. So service of man is service of God. So flower is our lotus-like heart. So we have seen that Hridaya, so Hridaya, Hritpadmam, we have seen that flower is our lotus-like heart. Let's make it as God's own seat. Fruit is the fruition of our acts. Karma phala, we have seen that. Surrender that unto His feet. Water is a devotion filled with tears, and the tears shed for the poor. When we offer all these for their service, gone all our worries. So leaf is Tulsi leaf, as offered by Rukmini Devi. Flower is that lotus flower offered by Gajendra. Fruit is Tulsi, the tasted fruit offered by Shabari. Water is sacred water offered by Rantideva. And the sacred water also poured by Bali Chakravarti. And some people commented on this. Leaf is our childhood. Flower is our youth. That's good. Fruit is our productive adulthood. And water is life's essence seen in old age. Leaf is our own wavering mind. Flower is our flourishing intellect. Fruit is ego from achievement. Water is the essence of consciousness. See? People say that entire Upanishadic knowledge, entire essence of all our philosophy is put into this verse. So offer some currency tip or a leaf when someone serves, as a leaf when someone serves you. Send some flowers to friends in grief or when happy. Surprise with a basket or fruit to uplift your team spirit, and at least offer some water, chai, or a drink at work or wherever when someone comes to see you. And lastly, Bhagavan concludes with these two verses. O Arjuna, O Partha, we are all Arjunas. When we are in that sattvic mood, we are all Parthas because we are born on this Prithvi. Yat karoshi yadashnasi, yat juhoshi dadasi, yat tapasyasi o kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, and whatever karma or ritual you perform, and whatever you give, and whatever penance or whatever effort you put in to achieve, that do with me in your mind and as an offering to me. Shankaracharya, in Shivananda Lahari, he talks about the same. Yat yat karma karo me tat tadakhilam shambho tavaradhanam. Whatever action, O Shambho, I do, that is your aradhana. How? Atmatvam, because you are my consciousness. Girija matihi, my mind and intellect is the Girija, the Parvati Devi. Prana, so shariram gruham. Sahachara prana, all my friends are my pancha pranas. This shariram is gruham. Pujate vishayopabhoga rachana. So your worship is my enjoyment of all these senses. Nidra samadhi sthitihi. So when we go to sleep, think that it is your samadhi. Sanchara padayo pradakshina vidhi. So every step I take, it's your sanchara. So knowing me, one of my, my leaders, he said, just say whatever you like, whatever you like, Sri Ram, Jesus, oh God, every step. So whatever step you take, so sanchara padayo pradakshina vidhi. Stotrani sarva giro. So all what you say, O Shankara, O Shambho, think that with every word I am worshipping you. Then the words become sweeter, the words become meaningful, the words become non-hurting. So same thing again is said in Shivamanasa Puja also. Oh, I actually reversed it. I reversed it. So this is from Shivamanasa Puja. Japo jalpa shilpam sakalamapi mudra virachanam gati pradakshinya kramanamasanatyaputi vidihi pranamas samveshas sukhamakhilamatmarpana drusha sapariya pariyayastava bhavatu yanme vilasitum. So this Shankaracharya, he actually in Saundarya Lahari. So this previous one is from Shivamanasa Puja, and this Japo Jalpa Shilpam is from Saundarya Lahari. Saundarya Lahari. So whatever I talk, it is my japa. And whatever actions I do with my hands and feet, think that they are your mudras. And then whatever steps and wherever I go, think that it is my circumambulation. Then whatever I eat, think that it is offering like oblation. And when I sleep, it is pranama to you. So that is how, whatever I do, yat karoshi yadasnasi, yat juhoshi dadasi yat. And oh Arjuna, I am samaha. Samaha, I am equal to all. But whoever, ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya, mayete teshu chapyaham. So this is now the answer to the first couple of verses, which we contradictory verses, is the answer to them is given here. I am in them, they are in me. When they approach me, because a flower, a scented flower, gives scent to anybody. But those who can appreciate that scent, they realize that scent of the flower. And let them be. Durachara. I don't care about their background. Api chesu duracharo bhajate mamananya bhak sadhure vasamantavyaha samyak vyavasito hisa. Once that realization happens, it doesn't matter how long the darkness was there for ages in the caves. Just one stick of that match, that one matchstick lighting the entire cave. All the darkness is gone. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma sashvat chantim nigachati kaunteya pratijanehi. Now go and tell everybody, oh Arjuna, name bhakta pranashyati. My devotee will ever perish. So can never perish. And Rajarshis, Brahmanas. So Brahmana, Rajarshis here, it is not talking about a caste. Brahmajnana Sampanna or Brahmanas. Rajanascha, Rishayascha, Rajarshis. So all these, they attain me with their practices, which we have just enumerated. But there are some who cannot. So Vaishyas, Stris, because of the biological limitations, because of their vocational limitations, because someone who is on a journey cannot do his Sandhya Vandana, so because he's now going overseas for 24 plus hours, so how can he do? So doesn't matter. Oh Arjuna. So they all can achieve me. They all can attain me. And here I give you the clue. Ananya chintayanto mam yejana pariyupasate. The same thing here said again. And it will be repeated again in the 18th chapter. Manmana bhava, madbhaktaha bhava, madhyaji bhava, mam namaskuru. Then mameva eshyasi. Evam yuktva atmanam matparayana. So with that dhyana, with that bhakti, with that action endowed with devotion, as Ishwararpanam, that karma becomes karma yoga. And that is a sannyasa yoga. With that, you attain me, O Arjuna. That is the summary of 9th chapter, the royal science and royal secret. Easy to practice, more and more to profit. We are a part of God and God is intrinsic in us, yet we are not Him. When we act on our own, this Maya is His own making. He is a father and crowned king. Rituals and sacrificial acts are gateways to heavens. And the heavens we attain only to return once our accrued goodness is exhausted. When we worship Him with devotion unflinching, and dedication unwavering, he shall take care of us. He assures us not to worry about procuring and securing. Offer the flower of hearts pure and the fruits of all our actions with faith utmost and trust deep. He shall bestow his love and grace. He is primordial mother and father. He is the sunshine and rain. He is austerity and oblation. He is the source and force of creation, of sustenance, and of dissolution. Salute him, my friend. Surrender unto him and live life like a lotus leaf. Eschew fear, worry, and grief. Worship him as a servant and work as his instrument. You shall cherish the life and Lord. You will not perish in this world. Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Om Tassat. Om Sat. Sarvam Krishnarpanamastu. Sorry, I just went a little bit overboard. Thank you so much.
Namaste, Sharda ji. You can do the Gita Mahatmyam.
अथ गीता माहात्म्यम् ॐ गीताशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णोः पदमवाप्नोति भयशोकादिवर्जितः गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीतांहसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनं गीता सुगीता कर्तव्या किमन्यै शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिसृता भारतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्राद्विनिसृतं गीता गंगोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्रगीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु.
So that was GS1, like PS1, Gita Study 1. Now we'll enter the GS2 from next week onwards. I guess the movie PS1 is so popular these days. Sureshji, do you want to recite your?
Top 3 secrets. Just as the waters from the sky reach the mighty ocean through raging rivers or crawling culverts, all of your worship of your favorite gods or family deities actually reaches the unmanifested one, the source of all existence. Any offering may be a flowery poem or a labor of love with sweat or tears, or the sweet fruits of democracy after the uprising by the masses. He will accept any offering given with a loving heart. To the self-controlled and those that constantly have the divine in their attention, he will obtain for them which they do not possess and preserve for them what they have in abundance. Top 3 secrets.
Thank you. You can stop the recording.